everyone, it's Sophie. Welcome back. Today we're doing something slightly different. I've kind of set out a sort of physical mood board almost about like what I want the August vibes to be like. This is inspired by a really good video I watched by Taro Magpie, and she in turn had got it from somebody else, I think. So I think it's kind of doing the rounds a little bit at the moment. And it was so interesting because I had my August set up all good to go. It got to August 1st. I was like, okay, I'm going to film this. Here we go. And I realised that it just wasn't kind of what I was feeling at all. I really want to get into the Hermetic Tarot. This was going to be the month where I get into it. And then the sun finally came out and I remembered that it is in fact August. And suddenly this just did not feel like the vibe. And that just wasn't it. So in 24 hours, I've made my own collaged Major Arcanas deck that I think represents how I feel at the moment a little bit better, or represents kind of how I want to feel for the month of August a little bit better. And I'm going to use them alongside the Thoth Tarot, which I'm not going to get into like properly. I just don't have that many decks and I need a deck that I can shuffle and has the minors as well, because so if you want to see what I've come up with, I'll talk a bit about how I made it. I'll talk about a little bit about what I want August to be like. If you're interested in that sort of thing, then just keep watching. So let's start with like the actual vibe, what it is I wanted to go for or evoke for August. I kind of started with going back to this book, which I've had for years and years and years. It's so battered and like highlighted and it's got stuff cut out of it and all sorts. But this is Sacred Earth Celebration by Glennie Kindred, and it takes you through the wheel of the year, and it's got lovely kind of suggestions for activities. It's got associated like plants and trees and things like that. I just love this. So I started by reading that, and that's where I did the whole like tarot for Lammas. That's my last video. And I just wanted to keep that sort of connection going because it was really nice to come back to that. I also came back to, let's move this out the way. I also came back to the Oracle Creator, which is a really fun guide to making your own Oracle or Tarot deck. I hadn't dipped into this for quite a while, and kind of remembering that I had that was really fun. And I kind of used a little bit of that with making the cards, although I was in such a rush that these aren't like as good as they could or should be. But never mind. These pens are the vibe because, oh my gosh, look at them. Like in terms of colour and the whole kawaii and just everything. Yeah. And then I've got some, like, these are here for their colours. These are the sort of colour palettes that I'm feeling. Garden Apothecary book back here is just trying to remind myself to make the most of my garden in summer and be outside as much as possible, because my MO, if you leave me to my own devices, is just to hide in my room and study and read and do tarot and make videos and all that good stuff. So I'm trying to like remind myself to actually get out and about. So having kind of realised that those sort of brights and colours and outdoorsy and all of that sort of stuff was what I wanted to invoke for this month, I realised that I didn't have a deck. I didn't have a deck that kind of represented that at all. I don't have that many decks yet, so I can't reach for something at drop of a hat sort of thing. So yesterday I just decided, oh, do you know what? I can just make my own. I'm going to make one. Yeah, I'm going to make one somehow right now. Very quickly realised that it's not a thing. It's incredibly difficult and it takes blimmin' ages. The absolute chaos that has ensued. The state of my desk. But I got a bit locked in, and once she's locked, she's not going to stop. And so 24 hours later, we have the Major Arcanas. So I thought it might be fun to just have a little look through these. Let's zoom in a bit and have a look at what I came up with. I would really recommend doing this. I had so much fun with this. It was like making a collage like you do when you're a kid. I don't know whether any of you guys had a make box. But we had a make box growing up, and like if it was a rainy day and me and my brother were bored, my mum would be like, go and get the make box out, and it would just have like scrapbooking stuff, and we would make something, you know. And this was just so reminiscent of that, and I loved it. It was so much fun. I made this just with whatever I had lying around. Like I had some postcards of Tolkien artwork. I had a New Scientist magazine that had done a space kind of special, so you'll see those featuring very prominently. But yeah, it was really fun, and I think I'm going to start collecting sort of like books and scraps and stuff to make more of these, like with particular themes, maybe like a botanical one or like a dedicated spacey one or like whatever, because this was really, really fun. So the Fool this is my little design for Crowley, because I'm doing a Good Omens tarot for Tarot-tober. So he's got his, if you don't know Good Omens, he's got his like little crank there for whatever it is he does with that little crank. And I changed what's supposed to be the white rose to like a white star. So that's, if you're wondering what on earth that is, that's Crowley. This one was like chaotic craziness. I kind of, originally the whole thing was shiny, and then I just messed it up so bad, and then I cut a bit of it off and I tried to make it work, and I don't really know if it does, but it's good enough. I was trying to go for the whole like above below connection, like the celestial heavens and the trees of the earth, and yeah. Oh, that's not supposed to be the next card, is it? Let's shuffle him back. Then the High Priestess. I was really pleased with how this one came out. I love it. I love the little owl, the moon and the pillars, and the colour scheme of that one was really, really fun to put together, and like the mountains in the background. Very Night Court, if you know ACOTAR. This is just a children's scrapbooking state. Look at the absolute mess that I made of that one, but you know, we roll with it. Then the Emperor totally changed up the vibe there, like, who even knows? The Hierophant is usually one of my favourite cards, but I think I pretty much botched this. This ended up being one of my favourite cards, even though typically I don't actually like the Lovers very much as a card. This is part of a bigger digital painting I did of Aziraphale and Crowley, like as angels in the heavens, having a little snog, you know, and I just really like this. And then, oh, it's got some paper still on it there. It's just, yeah. Strength, this is a painting I did of like true form Aziraphale. Cherubim in the Bible are described as having a lion and a bull and an eagle and a man's head, and Aziraphale in the show has a flaming sword, and the angel placed at the eastern gate of Eden with a flaming sword is a cherubim. So I've painted him as a cherubim. I think in the show he's supposed to be a principality, but I just like how cherubim fits. So then he's featuring on strength there. For the Chariot, I've just taken that amazing Tolkien painting that he's done, and I've used like them riding the barrel as the journey and the vehicle of the journey, and the like, you know, caterpillar to butterfly kind of motif going on there. You can tell I was getting a bit tired at this point. That's another Tolkien picture, and I've just cut and stuck a hermit on it, although he does have a shiny lantern if you look very, very closely, and that was incredibly fiddly to do. I really, really like this. Like the Wheel of Fortune here, and then the circles, the kind of celestial background, and yeah, I like that one. Also really, really like how Justice came out. She's got a little sleep mask over her eyes, you know, the scales and some archaic writing. I mean, those are like Tolkien runes, aren't they? But kind of looked, I don't know, looked like it fit to me. And then the Hanged Man, again, it's like space in the background, and I tried to make the stars glitter. I feel like the Hangman and the Fool are like really connected, so I bought the Fool's Rose back in for that. And I went for like a celestial background because I was kind of thinking of that myth where Odin hangs from, is it the Tree of Life? He sort of hangs from it for eons. I can't remember why, but that's what I was thinking of as I did this. Death, again, is a card that I really, really like. I just love the colours. And it's quite chaotic, quite like a chaotic card. This one is then not at all chaotic, but I think that's kind of how it's meant to be. You know, it's temperance. It's supposed to be calm and measured, isn't it? Then the devil, I kind of made the devil and the star as a pair because if you take it as Lucifer for the devil, Lucifer was the morning star. So I tried to kind of make that connection. And I've got the Serpent of Eden. I went for that over Baphomet. The goat thing with the like woman's top and the goat bottom and the horns and all the rest of it. I'm not really too keen on that. I think it was Eliphas Levi who made that, and he wasn't trying to make anything sinister. So I think it's a really like misunderstood symbol. So I just kind of sidestepped that one entirely. It's getting tired here. Look at this. That's just absolute crap, isn't it? This one I love. I just love the colours, and it's like a moon garden, like a moon forest, and there's a deer and some mushrooms, and yeah, I like that one. I think the less said about this, the better. And then it's the wrong way around. Judgment I quite like. Included like Angel Crowley because like the idea of the angels. In Islam, Azrael blows the trumpet to end the world and bring about the Day of Judgment. And they have the idea of the two angels on your shoulders recording your deeds. And then I think angels feature a lot in the kind of imagery of Christian Judgment Day as well. But anywho, so there's a little angel. And then finally this one. I don't really like how this one came out. This photo was too dark. I was trying to show like this figure sort of holding the world. I don't know. And then this is the universe that I painted because some cards, the world is the universe. Anywho, so this was literally what I made in a 24-hour span. My back really hurts now. This was quite the stint. But this was like, as I said, this was so fun. And I really, really recommend doing it. And I'm so excited that now I've got these majors to play with. I'm going to need to use the Thoth Tarot. Thoth, everybody pronounces it differently. Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot. I'm going to have to use that for the shuffling and for the minors, but it will be fun to like... It will be fun to then sub these in and kind of reflect and look at them. I am going to learn more about the Thoth Tarot properly, which in of itself I think is probably like a lifetime's work. So, oh look, there's the Baphomet thing we were talking about. I have got a book on it that I'm going to read. Where's it gone? No, it's all the way over there. That I got on Vinted. I got this on Vinted as well, actually. Love Vinted for tarot. If you've not been on there and looked at the tarot, it's all the fun. And I'm going to link that in with when I do the Hermetic Tarot, because the Hermetic Tarot by... Oh my gosh. His name's gone right out of my head. The Hermetic Tarot by whoever did that, the Thoth Tarot by Aleister Crowley, and the Rider-Waite Tarot all come out of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So I'm going to endeavour to find out a little bit more about that, and then that will be my like September or October video. I've been listening to hours and hours of podcasts trying to understand it all, because it's just a lot. It is a lot. But anyway, I feel like that now more suitably fits the vibe. And so what I'm going to do... Sorry, I've got such a bad camera setup today. What I'm going to do is set up my August whatever. Previously, I've been doing a card a day draws, but I think I'm going to do like an August challenge instead. So I'm going to go away and have a think about how to set that up, and then I will show you. And I was going to show you now, if you're interested. If you're not, you can sort of click off, how I then digitise these. Here they all are digitally, and they came out so fun. So I scan them in, and I scan them on 600 dpi, dots per inch, I assume that is. So these came out as like a PDF. So then what I had to do was open them in GoodNotes, because from there I can then save as a image like that, and I need these as an image file for reasons I'll explain in just a second. So save it to images. That's now saved into just my general photos. And then what I did in Procreate was I had a background template like that, and I've taken the background off, which is really important. So I've got background template like that, and what I then do is add the photo. Like that, and then make it a clipping mask. And then obviously like resize it. And then this is just making all the cards really uniform, because I can't cut them to this kind of straightness. I'm dreadful at cutting. So now it's got those like, it's got those curved corners, and it's got, it's absolutely straight. And then when I save it as a PNG. The PNG file will then, when you load it, there you go. So so there it was before with the background. Now we've turned it into something more uniform without the background. So that will then look really nice on like social media, or like in GoodNotes, or if you've got like a digital journal or something. If we just make a new page, let's do a little dotted paper page. You can now add that, and it won't have a background to your digital journal. So I'm actually going to put these up on my Ko-fi, and I'll put a little link if you want to download mine and play with them in your digital journal or whatever. You absolutely can. Or if you end up making your own, please tag me and let me have a look. I'd really love to see them. I'm over on Instagram as well. I think I'm Sophie Esoteric over there. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this and feel inspired and have a go at making a deck, because oh my gosh, so much fun. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.